Pearson's sale of the Financial Times for £844 million means the newspaper and website will have a new owner in Nikkei at a time of upheaval and uncertainty in the news business. Joining me now to discuss the future for the Financial Times is its Chief Executive, John Ridding. John, what can we expect for the Financial Times under new ownership?
I think we can expect growth and further growth. I think the opportunity here, which Nikkei has seen, is to build on the FT's momentum. It's subscription growth that we've seen in recent years, the rise in profitability. We now have more paid-for readers than we've ever had in our 127-year history. We're thoroughly international, but I think there's still a lot of room to grow in Asia and in the US, and I think that Nikkei sees the opportunity to invest in the FT to secure that growth, and profitable growth as well.
Pearson was seen as a British owner for the Financial Times and an impeccable blue chip owner that did not interfere. Do you think that the FT loses something in reputation by being foreign owned?
I think it's fair to say Pearson has been a model owner. It's really understood and respected editorial independence, and it's supported our international expansion. I think the roots of the FT will remain in Britain, but our branches are already pretty much everywhere, and this move will further internationalise the FT, which is a good thing in an age of globalising and internationalising business. I also think that Nikkei has a thorough understanding of editorial independence and integrity, and indeed that was one of the most important condition and consideration in this move.
Did you get guarantees that the FT would be left alone?
Clearly, one of the central areas of discussion was editorial integrity and independence, and yes, Nikkei fully understand and respect the importance of that to the FT, but also, frankly, to the business and the brand. So I think that the success of the FT is recognised as depending on that editorial independence and integrity, and they very much understand that.
And what now needs to be done for the FT? Does it need more investment? Does it need a bigger technological push into digital? Does it need to globalise more? What's your outlook?
Yes, I suppose over recent years we've fundamentally transformed the FT and built an effective new business model based on subscriptions. I think we're at the stage now where it's really a question of fuel in the tank. I think a bit more fuel in the tank in terms of audience acquisition, investment, some more investment in product. We're really sort of in a position, we've built some strong foundations, and we now have the opportunity to grow quite markedly. I think we find ourselves at the sweet spot of two of the most important trends of our time, the internationalization and globalization of business, and also the rise of digital delivery, particularly mobile, which enables us to reach readers efficiently and effectively anywhere, profitably, immediately. So you put those together, I think there's a lot to be excited about.
There was some talk of the FT perhaps joining a bigger organisation like Bloomberg or Thomson Reuters that would bring bulk and scale to it. This deal doesn't seem to do that. It seems to produce maybe a solid outlook, a solid owner, respectful owner, but maybe not bring more to the FT than it's got already. How would you address that?
Well, I think we can frankly do a pretty good job ourselves of scale. One of the wonderful things about digital delivery is that you can scale very quickly with the right model and the right customer acquisition approach, investment, marketing. So I think scale is something that we feel confident about and excited about delivering with the model we have and with a little bit more investment in customer acquisition.
You've worked in Asia yourself. Does this deal signal more of a tilt away from expansion in the US and more towards expansion in Asia?
No, I don't think it's an either or. I mean, our view all along has been that our audience is thoroughly global and that we reach a global audience. And I think one of the features of business nowadays is the interconnection between different regions. So I think we expect to grow in Asia, we expect to grow in the US. We're already obviously very strong in continental Europe. We don't think it's an either or. We feel that the audience that we're reaching wants that sort of global perspective. They want to join the dots between regions. So we're not a regional player, we're a global player.
One of the interesting things from where I sit has been that people, in the 28 years I've worked for the paper, there have been an awful lot of people knocking on the door saying, well, I wouldn't mind buying the FT. Pearson's always said no. What made them change their mind?
Well, in the 27 years that I've been here, you've obviously been here 1 year longer, you're a veteran, I think that we've always had this speculation around ownership of the FT because it is such a prized asset. I think what's changed, and I think this is a feature more broadly in business, is the focus and the need for specialization and indeed for focus. So it's very hard to ride two horses at the same time and very difficult to win on both horses. Pearson is very clearly focused on the mission and the opportunity in global education. That's a great mission, important mission. The FT clearly is in a different area. It's focusing on news media. So I think over time there's been a growing question about whether you can really win on both. And I think there's been a process that we've been through thinking about what's best. And I think this outcome is best both for Pearson and indeed for the FT. It's the realization of the reality that you really have to specialize and focus.
John, thanks very much.
Thank you.